Pick a card. What is affecting you right now that you're not aware of? Shocking revelations. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you at your reading. Hi friends, my name is Grisel with Psychic MD, and I'm here to do another pick a card reading. Long time no see. I know. So your first option is going to be this beautiful card, Soul Lesson Clarity, referencing the solar plexus. Okay, sorry, I had to look. So it is the number 9. This would be pile number 1. Pile number 2 is going to be this beautiful card with the ritual astrology, and that is for the aura chakra, the number 32. And number 3 is the gift of creativity, the sacral chakra, with the number 7. So have a look, pick your card, and I'll see you at your pile. Hi, pile number 1. My name is Grisel with Psychic MD, and I'm here to do your reading. And you have chosen the number 9, Eternal Sunshine, I Awake. Soul lesson is clarity with the solar plexus. So right off the bat, I'm feeling like we're actually coming together today to talk about a form of betrayal for actually all 3 piles, or what could be perceived as betrayal. And this could be seen in many different forms. Of course, people who betray us or whom we perceive are betraying us or have betrayed us, but also in many ways we can also betray ourselves. And I feel like this betrayal has led you to have a soul lesson about clarity of your solar plexus. And this is really about like what you desire and who you are and what drives you. So let's get a little bit of clarity on this, shall we? Show me what I need to see. That was quick. The King of Swords. So right off the bat, making himself known. This is the King of Swords. This could be a father figure, a male figure, somebody that embodies a male figure. So it doesn't have to be, genetically like that. But I'm going to say this is somebody who maybe, I'm just really noticing how he's giving that barbecue pit the side eye. It's almost like, okay, what's cooking? And I feel like this person could have undermined your self-esteem quite a bit and maybe like mocked you or laughed at you in a way that maybe it wasn't meant as harmful, but in the end, the results were the same. It was harmful and you felt like you had to turn or dim down your light or shut down in some ways. I'm looking at the couch behind him also, and I'm noticing like the plaid couch. And for some reason, I'm really being led to feel that this person also had like a checkered past or checkered reputation. And I'm hearing also a lion or a tiger doesn't change its stripes. Not a lion, but you get my feeling. So this person could be well known for doing things that are not on the up and up. I would feel a lot of like self-centeredness, a lot of, I heard devious. This person could be devious, and they could actually use their intellect and words in a way that really wound, cut, and hurt. So perhaps you have this kind of a wound that served to shut you down. So my intent is to explore a little bit more about this. We'll get some specifics. But most importantly, I'd like to find out how to release some of this energy, because that's the important part, right? And these cards are really awkward to use. Show me what I need to see. Can we elaborate more on this? Yeah, all day we can elaborate. Let's see. Elaborate on this King of Swords. And we have the ladder, climbing towards success. And I feel like this person in climbing, they could have stepped on heads, on necks, on hearts. They really didn't care. And their form of rising wasn't even with a real purpose. I feel like this person, for most of you guys, was a person who, in spite of being like a sword suit, somebody who like utilizes and values their intellect most of all, I feel like everything was really self-serving, like what makes them comfortable, what gave them a leg up on society, what they can cut out or they can cut up in order to, make it a lot easier for them, and also cutting corners. Then we have elephant. A long journey, either physical or mental, will leave you wiser at the end. Yeah, and I feel like this could have been something, because elephants are incredibly beautiful creatures, and they're known for remembering a lot of stuff, but also for having thick skin. And I think that you could have developed a really thick skin because of this kind of behavior and this kind of presence in your life. So I think it's been a long time in you trying to like find yourself or coming to conclusions that, wow, things like this really did affect me, and what can I do about it currently? And that is, of course, what we're trying to do here. Then with the table, hard work ahead. Now, for a lot of you, I don't feel like this is necessarily that you have any more hard work ahead of you. I feel like you're already in the thick of it if you come to my channel. Also, if you're resonating with this reading thus far, I feel like you are somebody who's actually doing the work, and it has been a long journey for you. So the staff, you will be taken care of in difficult times. Now, what's interesting about that is I was watching videos on grounding. I'm big on grounding and how can I do that effectively, and do I have to take off my shoes and put them in the wood chips and all sorts of crazy things like that. So where I'm at currently, there's not a lot of grass here, but there's a lot of like beautiful trees and things like that. So I do lean up on trees and I do take my shoes off. But also I was watching a video of a girl that says that, utilizing a staff is really the equivalent of walking around barefooting or earthing, as some of the people actually call it. And I thought that was really interesting. But utilizing a staff would be a good way for you to be able to get grounded. But the whole point is, regardless of how you do it, is getting grounded. And if you're not entirely sure how to do that, then definitely look up some videos and do a bit of research. It would behoove you. Okay. Now, in difficult times, I feel like during this whole thing, it has not been pleasant. It's kind of reduced your ability to find your center or your core person, like who you are ultimately. I feel like you've worn many hats, experienced different roles, and trying to like fit into society, or even trying to subconsciously meet a standard of somebody who is really just out for themselves. This person could have been a narcissist in your life, or could still be around. So I feel like that's like your past history. Then I have coins. So money will be coming to you, and that is certainly good news. And that actually is followed up with a card that I saw a bit ago. And it's this Nine of Pentacles. Now, this is somebody who's really self-sufficient. Somebody who is loving the luxury life, or the lap of luxury. Somebody's bougie, whatever you want to call it. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be those characteristics, but somebody who is definitely able to take care of themselves. Also, I heard a person who is able to replicate money, and I'm not talking about fraud. Can I say that here? Anyways, yeah, I'm talking about like being an entrepreneur, having multi streams of income, like passive income and active income, and all sorts of fun things like that. So I feel like if you're not in that right now, maybe you've just had a taste of it, or you've dabbled in it and it has kind of produced some results for you. Expect more of that. Okay, and you could be feeling right now like this cracked cup, dissatisfaction with life. And it's interesting to me that when you look at this card overall, not only is a teacup broken, which renders it useless, but now this just looks to me almost like a path. And I would propose to you that I feel like anything that's broken, anything relationship or anything that has ended in your life, whether it's like a home or relationships or friendships or situationships, jobs, all of that, any of those endings were actually correct in order for you to really find your true path, your destiny, and be part of your soul lesson in order for you to find exactly what it is that pleases you, what gratifies you, what gets you excited, and what your personal talents are that you can bring into the world so that you personally can show up in your most authentic self. And I feel like all of these moves may feel really kind of cloudy. I heard judgment, so maybe you've had a lot of people trying to judge you, and I can relate, but you know, in the end, people are going to talk and judge to their heart's content, and it's just really important to listen to your own voice and the voice of spirit before you listen to other people. You know, in the end, people are full of opinions, and I just kind of feel like if those same people would focus on their own lives, it would be really beneficial, but you know, it's easier for other people to focus on us, and vice versa. Sometimes we focus on other people in order to avoid doing the work, right? So Seven of Cups, you could be in a position right now where you have a lot of opportunities coming towards you, or a lot of choices, or you're a little bit in la la land, fantasy land, trying to decide what it is that you need to do, where it is that you need to head. I would propose to you wearing yellow is going to be really beneficial for you to really kind of, with intention, honor your solar plexus, and maybe even wearing green so that your heart center can really communicate with your solar plexus as far as like what it is that really makes you thrive and grow. Okay, show me what I need to see. How do we need to handle this? Wow, these cards are popping up. Get out of here with that. Okay, look, so I have the Hermit, and the Hermit's reversed. Now, for some of you guys, you could be Virgo, or, you know, it doesn't have to be, but it could be a nod to Virgo. But feel like for most of you guys, this means that you've been in a place where you've been kind of hiding away, maybe perhaps doing a lot of work, maybe licking your wounds, and, you know, I can relate, been there, done that. But now's a time for you that you're sufficiently, let's say sufficiently healed, sufficiently cleaned, sufficiently taken a good time to self-reflect, and it's time to get back out there, because what you've learned thus far may not seem like a lot, may not be appreciated by especially somebody who has this attitude, and for some of you guys it's multiple members in your family as well, by the way. But now you actually have the strength. You learned how to really conquer your inner demons and how to utilize them in order for them to work for you, versus you being a slave to every desire that crops up in your mind or heart or wherever else it's going to crop up at, right? So I feel like you've been able to kind of like scrub clean everything, and there's like a reference to cleanliness here as well. And so you're kind of sprucing things up yourself mostly. And so you could be thinking, well, new wardrobe, new diet, new workout, whatever the case may be, and just really cleaning up after coming in through a period of like strong introspective, and make sure that doesn't turn into like, I heard catastrophe, but like a depression. And I think it's going to be really good also for you to honor whatever it is that you had to give up or was left behind in whatever way, and that dissatisfaction, and able you to verbalize what it is that, you know, you're unhappy with, or journal. I think journaling is going to be the easiest way to get rid of this energy, because right here this tells me that you're incredibly strong, that you're incredibly powerful, that even this is a nod to your solar plexus that we're talking about right now, and this gives you the ability to really pursue and see exactly what it is that makes you tick, what it is that you desire, what gifts and talents you bring to the world, and how you can move forth into the world, and how you can show up. So that is what I have for you. The number 12 can be significant for you, or the number 8, or you guys could be Leos. That's what I have. If you like this video, please do smash that like button, share, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much for your time, and namaste. friends. If you chose pile number 3, this is your reading. My name is Crystal with Psychic MD, and I'm here to do the reading about the aura chakra that you chose, the number 32. So first of all, I read a little bit more in the book to get some in-depth knowledge, and it's really kind of interesting because the book just talked in very broad terms, and I didn't really feel like it applied. But what I did notice when I began meditating on it is that I feel like this has more to do with holes and things in your auric field. So if you've been feeling like you're losing energy, if you feel like you have any attachments, if you feel like you're spinning your wheels and you're stagnant and you don't know why, then this reading is for you. Now, I did talk a little bit also about feeling like this reading was going to be about betrayal and things like that. And I feel like that has a lot to do with why you have holes in your auric field and what is going on there. So without further ado, I was mixing the cards, and these are the ones that jumped out. Teardrops, great personal sorrow. Then I have chain of events that will affect your life. I also feel like this has to do with your personal DNA and your family ancestry and things like that. Things that have been handed down, not like a gift, but as a bad habit or as a bad tradition or something basically that I heard served to defile many. So take that however you will. And the other two are happiness and marriage, which is really quite opposing to what the first two are. Now, maybe perhaps you're in a situation right now where you feel like you have everything, or you should be happy, you should be content, even if you're not, quote, married by society standards, or if you're not even dating, that's a possibility as well. But feeling like maybe you're in a partnership of sorts. And this could be like, yeah, I'm a good partner to myself, or even a good partner to other people, or at work, whatever your deal is. But feeling like something's missing, like you can't really quite connect the dots, and feeling even like perhaps past trauma, like having flashbacks, having nightmares, and things that you can't quite let go of, or simply, not simply, because it's nothing simple about this conversation right here, is having, you know, memories that you can't release, can't let go of. And I can totally relate if that is your case, pile number 2. I feel like this has greatly altered your life, and in a lot of ways, it's defined who you are up to today. And I'm going to say that things that have happened to you don't define you. Especially if they're happening to you, you know, it's not like you did anything to deserve any of this. And I feel for some reason I'm being led to talk about essay, things that you can't really directly talk about on YouTube. But if this is you, then know that nothing that you could have done, I don't care what you've said or what you could have done to, quote, provoke someone to create a situation where you were essayed, or like in your family and things like that, that had nothing to do with you asking for it in no way, shape, or form, okay? And I feel like for a lot of you guys have been able to kind of create a life for yourself, but you are still like feeling the weight of this chain. And maybe perhaps you've repeated some of the cycles, and you know, for example, I'll say I'm not, you know, proud to say that I grew up in a, you know, kind of volatile family situation, and I myself have repeated quite a few patterns and things that I've really had to apologize for and own up to before I could personally move on. So you are, you know, undergoing a human experience, and the biggest thing is self-awareness, is to have self-awareness so we don't repeat things. So this is not about shaming and blaming. This is about breaking that chain that holds you back, that's affecting your auric field, that makes you feel like all the good stuff you can't really protect because something on the inside feels ill, or feels sad, or feels a chronic depression all the time, okay? Now, I did have this jump out, and this could have to do with like a mother figure, or a mother, or someone who traditionally would be expected to kind of like hold the household together, or be the person that you look up to for guidance. And I feel like because she jumped out reverse, this is not someone that was ever able to fulfill that role, or perhaps even someone that had no desire to hold that role. Now, this part of the conversation will not pertain to everyone, but I do feel like there's someone out there that perhaps your mom or a mother figure was involved in gangs. And if that's the case, then, that's a whole different trauma right there. And I feel like you've been able to break somewhat like those traditional things that have been handed down. Maybe perhaps your whole family was like in gangs or the mob or something like that, and you've been able to kind of break out of that and create a different life for yourself. But I feel like there's a lot that's still holding you back. Maybe it's shame, maybe it's sorrow and not being able to let go of what transpired. Yeah, and so I definitely feel for you. But I feel like the biggest thing right now is to acknowledge that you can actually see the chain that binds in order to be able to proceed forward, in order to make those changes and break them. Show me what I need to see in order to break these chains for pile number 2. To be a healthy pile number 2, the Tower. So the Tower usually comes when something needs to be let go of, and basically it says that we did not build on something that was sturdy, and so the Tower falls because a building has a faulty structural parts to it that just makes it collapse basically, and it can't continue. So this is like the foundation of your childhood, or your foundation of work, or whatever it is that the situation pertains to, relationships, all of it. And so there's a need maybe to look a little bit deeper, because it did come out reverse, before you're able to let it go. But I feel like okay, this is probably going to piss some people off, but here we go. And I'm going to say that for some of you, you're a little bit addicted to that feeling of like sadness, of nostalgia, of feeling that depression that just comes so easily. We get addicted to things because we don't really know a way around that, but we can really choose differently for ourselves. So there's a lot of things available, like therapy, or talking to friends, or journaling, all the above, or prayer, or meditation, or obviously counseling would be a great one. But there is a need to really explore what it is that really collapsed, so that you can see that maybe your foundation is completely different than the foundation that you grew up with, and that you're not modeling a prototype. Even though we've made mistakes and maybe we picked up the same tools, we realized that, hey, that wasn't a good thing to continue just because you saw that, acted out in a certain part of your life. It wasn't good to bring into your own home and into your own relationships as an adult. So I feel like that's what this could be stating, is that, gaining clarity and forgiveness so that you can actually put the Tower up front and upright and allow things to fall, and not have kind of like those, I feel like there's a little bit of nostalgia associated with that whole thing. So you could feel a little bit like, well, nobody understands, or certain people understand, and feel even nostalgic about things that weren't quite right as well. Because sometimes we just feel like that, well, that's all I had, that's all I knew. And I totally 100% get that. But it doesn't really make it a good situation for one to really look back and nostalgia with. I hope that makes sense. But it's far better to kind of create a different scenario in your mind, or something that you want that's on the up and up and positive, that would bring you better results that you could move towards. And in doing so, you're essentially leaving, things that are negative and in the past, and that you're not like emotionally attached to in some way. And a couple of examples is going to places that make you remember, oh wow, this is like when I was growing up, and kind of missing in some strange way that childhood, or maybe kind of mourning something that you never had, and constantly being in the presence of that. Okay, so yeah, with the Knight of Swords, the Knight of Wands, this is about being fast acting and moving with intention and moving with fire, and having maybe you even had a message in the sacral chakra, that pile number 1, because I feel like this is all about like intentionality. This is about like what I desire, and I'm focused and I'm going to go get it, kind of an energy. And that by far is going to help you to tap into what it is that you desire. And that is going to help you to leave behind a lot of those chains that you feel that are binding you. Because I feel like a lot of times this could be a psychosis situation, where we get into a situation where we're constantly, you know, cycling over and over a situation that we had from the past. It just wasn't good for us. And so regardless if you're going through patterns or cycles, or you're having flashbacks, anything like that, it's going to be really good for you to seek the support of a, you know, a certified therapist. That's going to be the best thing for you at this point in time. And maybe even join some groups that have undergone things such as what you have undergone. Now, this to me says that this is an act of letting go. It's an act of taking those negative words, negative experiences, those betrayals, that pain, things that you never thought would ever happen, people that showed up in ways against you that you never thought would have done so, and being able to let all of that go. And it's by far easier said than done, and it's easier to say, well, you got to forgive and move on. You know, it's kind of funny when people talk about like forgiveness, and I don't really feel like a lot of people understand what that is. I think that people think, well, forgive and forget. It's more like me gloss over my past issues and just move on with the forward and things like that. But I don't think that's realistic. And I think everybody has to come to an atonement of what their true level of meaning for them, you know, what it means to you to forgive. And it doesn't mean you have to stare somebody in the face and say, hey, I forgive you, and you, and you, and you. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to make light of it, but for most of us, those people are no longer in our lives, or they have crossed over, or, you know, why dig up a scorpion? We don't want to bring fire into our laps, or bring situations in the name of making amends that can cause more trouble. But you can, in your own way, you know, through different methods of therapy and journaling and rebirthing, and I don't know, there's tapping would be another good one, of being able to work through things so that you can actually let go of those. And for a lot of us, I mean, me personally can really hang on to things for a long, long time, and it's taken me forever to let go of certain things. But you do what you can with what you have, and that's okay too. So you're not gonna necessarily conquer the world in one day, or when you focus on something one time. Sometimes things are like onions, and onions have layers, and you got to realize that in order to reach a place of peace, sometimes you're going to work through things in your mind or with other people, however that looks like for you. And you're going to be able to be like, okay, well, I feel at peace, I feel better about it. And then you can move forward, so to speak, only to have 6 months down the road, 6 years down the road, or 5 months, or whatever the case may be, that the same person or the same betrayal or issue or the same pain that you had with someone else that really rendered you, it raises its ugly head once again. And it could be because it gets emulated in front of you through your other relationships, or you see a pattern that gets repeated, or something you watch on TV triggers a memory or a feeling or something like that. And that's okay. That just means that you've healed sufficiently enough so that you can kind of pick up a little bit more of where you left off the last time, and work through a little bit more of that. And I picture it just sort of like being like a plant and a root, and how you can't really see what's underneath until you start like pulling it out. So I feel like that is okay, but you are on the up and up, and on your way to letting multiple things go. If people have really hurt and betrayed you and done things behind your back, and yeah, I have specifics, but I'm like, why go into all the dirt? But basically, it's going to be different for each and every one of you. But this is about not necessarily even forgiving other people, hey, but really going in and seeing that that thing that's been holding you back is good to let it go for your sake. And you're not the same person. You've learned a lot of lessons since then, and you'll continue learning a lot more in the future. So that's where that stands. And what else do we need to see? Show me what I need to see for pile number 2. Anything that's going to be helpful in releasing this pain, the suffering, and maybe the memories. And show me now. Yeah, ending. This literally, this is a validation for you. The world is an ending card. The world is saying, you know, the situations are over. They don't have to go around the sun one more time like we keep on doing. They don't have to be repeated. We can actually let them go. We can file them away even if necessary. And I'm laughing because I've tried so many different techniques, and I feel like whatever works for you works for you. But you know, setting aside time, and it's like filing maybe your childhood, and filing maybe what your dreams were that didn't quite pan out the way you wanted them to, and filing this whole idea of like unity because it didn't pan out. At least that happened for me, or didn't happen for me, I should say. But you know, it was always my dream to really have a really tight family, for example. And I have a lot of issues with my childhood growing up, and a lot of issues with you know, what a home looked like, and things like that. Well, mostly because I watch too much damn TV. But you know, it's good that whatever I was not able to get rid of is just kind of file it sort of in a cabinet, and when I'm ready with a therapist or during an appointed time, and setting aside a time not to be indulging in it for a long time, basically is the point, is then you can, you know, work through the remnants of whatever else you have. So that's just an idea. The Two of Pentacles means that you've been juggling too much, too many things. I feel like you've been medicating on being too busy. And that can look in many different forms. Having 2 jobs, having a job and school, but working way too many hours or taking on too many credits so that you are busy, 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 and you don't have any time to slow down. That is a form of medication and a form of self-sabotage as well. So it's going to be a really good time for you to slow down, whatever that looks like to you, and not be juggling 30 things, and just take time out for you. It's okay to take time, and sometimes even think, what the heck, I have all this time. What am I going to do? Final thoughts for pile number 2, please. If you like this kind of reading, please do hit the like button, share, comment, subscribe, and let me know. Show me what I need to see, and show me now. I didn't say 1 card, but two will do. Oh, 3, here we go. Triumph over troubles and obstacles. Yeah, I feel like you do have a very higher perspective, a bird's eye view. You have the ability to look ahead and look below and just kind of see like where everything stems from and where it's headed and how things are going to work out. And I feel like even here, this is almost like a nod to the sun. So if you've been troubled and really treading this really dark energy, fear not, that is coming to an end. You'll be shown the way. Yeah, so I feel like you've been meditating using candles and some flowers. I don't have flowers right here, but anyways, that would be a really good idea for you to find your center and do some breathing techniques, and that might even help you. And pay attention to your health. So maybe you need to dedicate a little bit more time towards exercise or eating. Maybe even grounding with that big old tree back here. And again, I feel like you have a message in the first pile. If you feel led to it, watch it. If not, that's fine too. And that is all I have for you. Mental health is health too. Let us not forget. And with that, I will leave you. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much, and namaste. Hi, friends, my name is Griselle with Psychic MD, and I'm here to do another reading. Pile number 3, if you chose the gift of creativity, the sacral or sacral chakra, this reading is for you. We've got the number 7 on the board. And let's see what this card has to say. This is the only one I did not look up, actually, which is quite interesting. Now, right off the back, I started thinking about what the sacral chakra is. And most of you guys know already what it is, but it's the second chakra. So first you have your root chakra, and then after that comes the sacral. And I heard sexual dysfunction, but let's see what this little book says. Engage your creative mind. Our minds are very powerful. And when we organize them to stop ourselves from complaining, self-doubt, and being negative, prosperity reigns and our intelligence can be used more creatively. So what's distracting you from being creative? Maybe you're a writer and you hit a wall. Maybe you're a content creator, such as myself, and you hit a wall. So there are many things. Maybe you're a photographer and you no longer have been feeling that enthusiasm to pick up your camera. Maybe you're a builder, a carpenter, and the zeal has seemed to kind of diminish, or it appears to be gone. Now, taking breaks are really actually going to be good. Show me what I need to see, what's going on here for the sacral chakra for pile number 3. Pile number 3, and show me now. Okay, this is good. It can be Capricorn energy. Doesn't have to necessarily be, but it's not a Capricorn. And this is a devil, but it's reversed. I feel like maybe you are letting go of some vices, or you know that you have to let go of some vices. I'm going to show you this card because it's just so cool. How can you not look at it? Anyway, some of the vices could be, you know, pill popping. It could be smoking, overeating, drinking, smoking, sex, overindulging in really anything. So anything taken excess. It could be working too much. It could be giving all of your time to other people, to charity work, and not giving yourself time that you need to heal, to rest, to grow, to regroup. Anything can be taken in excess. But I feel like you're going to be coming out of this in order to give yourself some more clarity. Also, if you had any obsessions, I feel like you're letting those go, or you know that they have to go by the wayward in order for you to focus properly on what's healthy and what's inspiring. Show me what I need to see. And show me now. That 4 of Wands, you could be focused on your home, or soon to be focusing on a new home. This could be building, contracting. It could even be working, like maybe you're a contract builder, literally. And here we go. If that little guy doesn't look like the quintessential sacral chakra picture, I don't know what is. I mean, this little kid is thinking about nothing but his wand. So it's kind of funny. But that's, again, connected to like our sexual expression, our sensual expression as well, our creativity, what we really produce and bring into the world. So all of those things are being referenced right here. And home could be something that's just, I feel like that's going to help you to heal and bring you back to where you need to be in order for you to express this creativity. Show me what I need to see. What are the blocks here? What is this devil reversed for? And show me now. The Queen of Swords, yeah. So I feel like whether you're king or queen, this is a non-binary reading. You know, I feel like you're really pruning your own garden, your own mental, emotional, spiritual garden, looking at your own behavior, addictions, things like that. And you're kind of like, okay, that's not conducive, that's not helpful, so let me get rid of that. And that is going to be very, very healthy for you. As anyone who knows who is a gardener, it's great to really tend to your garden. And part of that is like pruning, getting rid of dead leaves, deadheading, you know, fertilizing the soil and all of that. And that's what this lady is doing right here with much wisdom and knowledge. Now, I'm not going to pretend I know how to do all those things. I kind of have a brown finger when it comes to gardening, it would appear. Sad to say. Okay, so the Nine of Pentacles, you could have lost money because of this addictive behavior. This could be like playing video games, buying video games too much, or going to strip clubs, or chronic shopping, whatever your thing is. I don't know what your deal is, fit it to your story, but I think that you are cutting back on your vices. And what else do we need to see here? Yeah, and you're taking little steps and little strides. Like before you put any effort and energy into things, before you call all in, it's going to be really good for you to take that time to see what moderation is all about. That's another word I don't really know. So yeah, moderation, balance, taking things one step at a time. What's that all about? Well, basically, it's going to be really, really helpful for you, especially if you're coming out of some kind of addictive pattern or behavior. Typically what happens is we find a crutch and we find something else to supplement or take the place of the initial addictive behavior, if that makes sense. So, you know, for example, somebody's doing hard drugs, then scales back, quote unquote, to alcohol, scales back, quote unquote, to marijuana, and so on and so forth, or food, or whatever. So I think you get the point. Interesting, because I feel like in this pile, not so much the other piles, but this one is more about not listening to your own intuition. And it's more about like a self-betrayal rather than other people. Not that any of them are good, but it's kind of cool. Show me what I need to see for pile number 3. Pile number 3, the gift of creativity. Show me now. I feel like there could have been something also that you took a lot of pride in. And how I'm getting that is if you look closely at this one card right here, you can kind of see the peacock right here and a person walking away. And I feel like almost you could have prided yourself in being like I don't know, the most organized person in everybody's life, or the super cleaner, or the super hard worker, or the super money maker. Whatever the case may be, those things can definitely be addictions as well. And, you know, it's just lending too much merit on what other people think about you, and that could be really toxic to your personal development, to your growth, and to really reality of life. So I feel like you are being asked to spend some time with yourself, to maybe listen to music, pick up an instrument if you happen to play, return to things that you used to do in the past that gave you joy, and that can get things flowing. A younger man can have something to do with this issue, dealings, or relationship with a younger man. I feel like that has to do with this addiction area here. So maybe perhaps you're running with a younger man, or a younger man that you were obsessing over, or had some type of dealings or interactions with that was like toxic and caused you to lose money. Okay. And here is the younger woman. So it could be like maybe this represents you and them, or perhaps perhaps you're dealing with two people right here. It doesn't necessarily have to be, but it caused you to kind of, I don't want to say lose your way, but kind of temporarily go off your path. Okay, so it's time to really find your center once again, your joy, what gives you that good flow of energy, and a lot of that has to do with all of your chakras being aligned, with you being grounded, with you mentally being able to kind of get to a place where you understand that, you know, what's not beneficial anymore has come and gone, and now it's a time to reap rewards because you're turning over a new leaf. Ring. A marriage will take place, either romantic or business. So this is about a commitment. I feel like this is even going to be like a commitment to yourself as well. So yes, it could be marriage if you're not married already, but I feel like it's a commitment of maybe drawing again, maybe painting again, maybe writing again, or staying clean, or staying away from people that are toxic, people that cause you to lose money, or from gambling, whatever your thing is or was, whatever your dose of poison happens to be called. Okay. Then we have the well, family wishes come true. And I feel like maybe perhaps that's stating that your family has witnessed your suffering, and they will be really happy to see this new change of events in your life. And that will be really positive because you'll be supportive. I feel like people are supportive of you anyways, but I think that you're really kind of maybe sassy like me, and it's like, don't tell me what to do. Even if I'm doing it wrong. So you could definitely have that problem that I have. Cobweb. Don't make me laugh. Protected from negative forces beyond your control. That was not my first thought of what that meant, by the way. And by my laugh, you probably know already what I was thinking. You know, mind in the gutter kind of a thing, but protected from negative forces beyond your control. Okay, well, that's good. I feel like you have, like, come through fairly unscathed. Maybe just the loss of some money, but it could have been worse, especially from the point of view of people around you. The ram, a stubborn, aggressive person, and a rat. Someone working against you behind your back. So you've been surrounded by, like, negativity. And maybe the law got involved, and there was somebody in there that was in the pen or something like that. But this Aries energy, I feel like, could be really focused on, like, leading you astray one way or another and using up your resources. And this could have really, I don't know, I feel drugs involved. That's for the majority of you. That's what I'm feeling right now. What else do I need to see? Show me what I need to see. For pile number 3, good that you are releasing holds on you. No judgment here. Been there, done that. And show me now. 8 of Wands. So things will happen quickly. So you might be in this little, like, funk of, oh my gosh, and I've done all this thing. And yeah, there's been, like, betrayal and heartache and things like that. And even, like, the 5 of Pentacles, like, I'm in the dark. I don't know what's going on. So you could have had a situation where people, like, turned you into the law or ratted you out, or you felt like it was a situation where you were in bed with unsavory people and they turned on you. And so now it's, you know, your time to kind of get clean or on the up and up and change your ways or change your focus. So the 8 of Wands tells me that this could happen very quickly. There might even be a trip in store for you. The 3 swords I have right here, this is like betrayal, pain, heartache. This could be even somebody having a heart attack and scaring the snot out of you. And put you on the up and up as well, not to scare anybody. But then I have the 5 of Pentacles. This is like, I don't know what's going on. I'm crying, boo-hoo-hoo. And she's looking right through her fingers. This card cracks me up. But basically, this is about, like, I invested so much time and energy and effort, and I am not privy to what's going on. I don't really have a good idea. There's a lot of, like, hidden things around me. And with it being reversed, I really like this because I feel like you're facing your betrayals. You're facing things that, even how you've self-betrayed and things like that with, you know, using up your time for things that wound up being unprofitable or unsavory. And now you're realizing that, wow, all those resources, yeah, maybe I lost money and things, but I still have, you know, good things ahead of me. And so I feel like that will actually rectify for you fairly quickly. Yeah, and you have a new beginning, by the way. So I feel like pile number 3, you have a new beginning. And the fact that, like, there's even a glove holding this plate, it could feel like a small start, or it could feel like I don't know, working at like a greasy spoon or like a fast food place, or like doing dishes, literally, or it could be like something that you are given like a new beginning in a place that you don't want to work, or you don't want to do something and you're like, well, it's kind of beneath me, those plates are really dirty and I don't really want to do that, I have no interest in food prep. And then all of a sudden it winds up being this really cool thing that you wind up taking your skills to another level, like you're working at IHOP and all of a sudden you learn about plating. And then you start looking up, you know, reels or TikToks or whatever, and you start emulating things that you see on those, and you start actually plating things very differently, or getting into the culinary arts, or whatever the case may be. But whatever it is going to be a solid beginning, and you'll get your feet firmly under your feet firmly under yourself. Hello, that was hard to say. It's going to be very, very important right now to know that you could be possibly going to like a detox situation. Like anytime we're addicted, there's a detox, whether it's mental, emotional, spiritual. We can go through withdrawals. We could be like addicted to people, addicted to situations, overworking, like I said before. Whatever the case may be, if it's substances, y'all know it's going to be a withdrawal kind of an issue, but even against, you know, towards people and stuff. So be aware that if you're coming across those situations, then, you know, the addiction is real, and it's going to be necessary or a good idea for you to get a stable support system under your feet and seek therapy, and maybe even join some groups that can really help you. But I will leave you with the last card, which is Temperance. And Temperance is all about acknowledging that you really have to balance everything out, that, you know, don't get too tired, too angry, too hungry. And that's, I think, one of the things in 12 steps, if I remember correctly. And yeah, I said that. But even just that elation, I mean, we can't be perpetually like elated and always excited. Things are going to ebb and flow, and just know that, you know, everything in little moderations can be okay. And that's just a perfect recipe for you to not only make a cake, but to be balanced and to have your feet under your body, underground. Why am I saying things all weird like that? But also to know that, like, when you're given like small offers like this, it's going to be easy for you to knee jerk and kind of feel insulted or kind of feel diminished in some way. And that is not at all what's happening here. What's happening here is that you're giving little in order to do well with the little that you're given. And the more you do well with things, you'll continue being given more and more blessings, and things will grow more and more. You can't possibly think that somebody who is coming out of some kind of addictive behavior is going to be given like a 10 of Pentacles, because if you give somebody like a whole wallet and limited credit cards, well, something's going to go south there. Whether you're addicted to a person, place, or thing, mental, emotional, spiritual, it's just not going to go well for you. And I think that you realize that, Spirit realizes that, so please don't be insulted by what appears to be a small offer. If you're trying to get, you know, back up on your feet, something about feet, you guys. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you feel brave enough. If not, that's okay. We'll just keep on going, okay? But the point of the whole matter, keep your balance. Temperance is key. And you could also have somebody from the past who's going to want to kind of circle back, a little bit like a shark, wanting another taste, if you will. I would just skip on that offer entirely. Just my opinion. And with that, I will leave you much love and light. Namaste.